Yeah, thanks very much indeed, Lindsay. I mean, you know, we were interrupted a few moments ago when I tried to get the a reaction from Chief Economist Isaah Mhlanga, and I just want to step on something that's important, Isaah. I missed it out with you the first time. I see this figure of 76 billion rand for so-called job programs, right? I'm just wondering, ahead of this budget, people were saying, look, the finance minister has to reflect the intentions of SONA to say that there's flesh on these job initiatives. What's your take around the job creation part of this budget?
Look, I think it is the right thing to do instead of, expanding social welfare, which is just cash transfer. This aligns with the president's, employment program. So ultimately, it is the implementation of that SONA that tries to create jobs, but it's not something that is sustainable beyond the medium term. It's a short-term relief, given where we're coming from. In the environment where COVID has decimated small businesses, decimated a lot of businesses that are still yet to recover. So in that environment, it makes sense to provide short-term relief in the sense of jobs instead of cash transfers. So it also tries to mitigate against the pressure of a universal basic income grant, which, if you look into the numbers, is not provided for. And the finance minister says it will only be implemented at a pace that is affordable, provided there's a permanent revenue source that is going to fund it. And by the looks of things, it's not likely to be implemented.
It's interesting that the minister also had a list of all the risks. So he says we've got a good time with this windfall, but one of the risks being highlighted was the public sector wage bill. And I'm going to speak to COSATU's Matthew Parks in a moment here, but I want to get your sense about the fact that we've got the SOEs, we've got their demands, we've got the public sector wage bill, and we've got the fact that the economy is certainly not coming up. Let's talk about the wage bill. What's your take on where that's going? He didn't want to commit to anything on that front. He just said it's a risk.
It is a big risk, 20.5 billion, which was already committed for in the MTBPS last year, but obviously they are going into a new negotiation rounds, and Treasury says should they settle at a rate that is higher than what they budgeted for, they would have to consider headcount reduction. Whether that is achievable, we have to wait and see, which in my view is a big risk, particularly if you consider the nature of this year. It's a politically sensitive year, ruling parties elective conference, 2024 is general elections, unions will be pushing so hard to get well above inflation increase. So it's a big risk to the fiscus.
All right, I'm going to ask you to move away, Matthew.